What if I told you that making a scrap quilt is quite difficult? There are lots of variables. And one of the biggest variables is that you have an amalgamation of fabrics. That's just different hues, different values, different colors, different intensity. So, what is the solution? What's missing? A pattern. I have come up with an idea to make a scrap quilt using a simple pattern. Let me show you how. Let's get started. Okay, so hear me out. Now, I know making a scrap quilt is all about just choosing anything and running with it. Not today. Today we're going to be a little bit formalized and have 3 rules. First rules, lights and darks. That's it. We're not going to play around with anything else. We're not going to consider, oh, this might be okay or that might be okay. No, lights and darks, that's it. Whatever your hand light on, you consider it lights and darks, done. Number 2, the next rule is the sizes. We are working with 2 sizes only. Next rule, 3rd, stack and cut. That is it. As simple as possible. So let me show you. I have already started to cut some here. And I have cut these in less than 10 minutes. And I have a stack on each side already. So let me show you how this is done. Now, because the pattern in my head, which I'm going to share with you, so by the end of this video, I'm going to tell you where you can actually get the pattern, okay? I have made some changes to the way you can get free patterns, which this is a free pattern. So I'm going to tell you at the end of the video. Going back to the cuts now, only 2 sizes, and here what? Those 2 sizes are rectangle. One is a smaller rectangle, one is a larger rectangle. Don't worry about the cuts. I'm going to share them with you in the pattern. So I have this beautiful size piece here. I already know in my head exactly what the sizes are, so I don't have to find the smaller pieces, tiny pieces, large pieces to make my scrap quilt. So all I'm going to do is to use my small ruler because I know I can get the size that I want. Okay, now remember I mentioned stack and cut. Because I already cut a piece of size here that I want, I can simply fold this. And I've just folded it in 4 and I'm going to cut the size that I need. Now, because yet again, it's a larger piece of fabric, I can simply use this piece of fabric also to get my smaller rectangle cut. And that way I have saved myself some time and selecting. Remember, the only selecting you're doing is lights and darks. That's it. Now, because I'm using my smaller ruler and I have already cut the size with the first piece, I have simply just cut 4 pieces that I need already. Okay, 4 pieces already, and that goes into my larger stack of rectangles. Remember, all I'm choosing is lights and dark. Now, because I already adjusted the size, I already have a smaller piece, 2 smaller pieces here of rectangular cuts to add to the next pile. See how easy that was? Now, yes, some of you are shouting, scrap quilts don't use pattern. Why not? Why not use a pattern for a scrap quilt? The length in this particular is the same length for both sizes. One is a smaller rectangle, one is a larger rectangle. I just cut that less than 5 minutes. Look, I've got this here. I'm going to fold it down, take my piece I just cut, stack it on top, and simply cut it down to the size that I want. Again, within seconds, I just simply cut 3 pieces, which makes it so much more easier to get to the layout. You see how quick that is? I'm moving through these. Now again, rather than think, oh, can I use this? This is considered a dark. That's it. Put it down. If I think the size of this, look at it, it has a fat end, and the middle is smaller. So this is what I'm going to do. Take that same piece, adjust it. Will it fit? I could get a squeeze in it. So yes, I get one cut out of that. Done. Okay, goes into the pile. Now, for the smaller pieces, I can just simply fold it all up. Take a smaller of the rectangle, stack it in between, and as simple as that, I just cut 4 pieces of my scrap. Now you see what I'm talking about? So because I have these sizes in my head already, selecting the pieces of fabric I want is easy. Because I have already known to myself, Karen, don't mess around with pinks, greens. If the color is going to match, that is not where we're going today. All we're choosing is lights and darks. Lights and darks. It doesn't matter the hue. It doesn't matter the intensity, i.e. if there's a strong pattern concept on it. We're not worried about that. All we're choosing is lights and darks. So a beautiful pink piece of batik fabrics like this, I'm going to consider this either a light or a dark. And what makes the option choices so much easier is as long as that scrap fabric fits the size. So I've taken my size again and I'm simply going to lay it on top, and if it cuts, if it's the right size, it's a piece of fabric that is actually going into the quilt. As simple as that. And look, just with chatting with you, my pile have gotten larger. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and continue cutting, and then we're simply going to go to the layout. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to lay this out. So genius, so simple, yet reduces this chaos and stress. Okay, so I have my 2 sets of stacks of sizes. Let's get to the layout. Or should I just start sewing because it's so easy to put together? I think I'm going to start sewing randomly. So I'm going to put them side by side and just pull. If I do get like for like, then I will swap around. I'm going to keep it simple and fast. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is how you would lay the block out. So the strip to the top, strip to the bottom. There are 72 blocks in total. Now it's time to just sew the rows together. This beautiful, lovely reading nook quilt has now been completed. As you can see, the layout of the fabrics here looks really lovely, vibrant. Yes, there is lots of lights and darks, but I think it works. You can also notice that I added a white inner sashing all around the quilt, as you can see. And again, I use that so it gives it an opportunity to rest your eyes so that it's not too much of all that vibrancy shouting back at you. I've also decided was to add those little dots of yellows, that pops of color, again, around the actual inner blocks of the quilt. Again, attracting you to focusing on that. Noticing as well, I've added a piano border around, followed with some cornerstones, again using contrasting fabrics to help me create this uniformity around the quilt. It is a scrap quilt, yes, but I think in this instance, the pattern concept of using two sizes to identify the block and then flipping that block so that it works. And again, using the simple method of stack and cut and lights and darks. And I think this has brought it together really nicely. Now with the piano border, if you notice on this end here, I didn't add any of the piano border. That's because I didn't have any more of those scrap fabrics. This was left over and it was a perfect size to add in the cornerstones as well as this side panel here on both ends. So again, using that cornerstone there, and I think it brings the whole quilt together. It looks really awesome. Now, one of the great things about using this particular scrappy quilt pattern that I've actually called Scrappy Surprise is that you can use this to any size quilt. That's it. You can even use this pattern for fat quarters, layer cakes, charms. That's how interchangeable and usable this pattern is, but it's perfect for scraps because very likely you are going to have the sizes that the scraps actually use. So I think this works. Share with me down below what you thought of this whole process. On the back, before we go to the back, let's talk about the quilting. I use really large swirls to complete this. Again, giving me the opportunity to complete this in a day, basically. Remember, it's a reading nook quilt, so it's not huge. The size, as I said, is 47 by 53, so it's a lovely size, okay? And imagine I use 72 of the blocks, and you can see where the blocks stopped, okay? Because the white actually helps you to see where the piecing stops from the pattern itself. Now the pattern will also give you the instructions to make the piano border. On the back, I just use this blue and white fabric here, this gingham fabric, and I also bordered it again with some of this fabric here, and these were all left over. So the whole quilt basically was made using leftover fabrics and scraps. The gingham was left over from a quilt I made, and this was also leftover fabric. So now these are all used up. So nothing was bought. So everything was used to actually make this quilt. Overall, it's a beautiful quilt, perfect for a reading nook, perfect for, a child's play quilt. Lots of vibrant colors, and I think it actually, it's a cohesive quilt. The pattern is all ready for you in the description box down below. I hope you enjoyed this particular tutorial on making scraps. And again, join me next week and see what I come up with to use up my scraps in my bins so that I can help you and we can help each other to create beautiful quilts using all of our scraps. So, I can't wait to hear your feedback. I think it looks awesome. Good use of the pattern that's really simplified, and I think that's the key here, is to ensure that the process for scrap quilting is simplified. Like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now, and happy quilting.